Welcome back for the epilogue. New Year's Day, 1939, 4 years later. To celebrate the new year, the entrance to Shibuya Station was decorated with pine tree branches to symbolize strength and bamboo to symbolize virtue. Yasuo, now a 20-year-old student at Tokyo Imperial University, climbed the stairs to the station, carrying a gift of sweet mochi cakes wrapped in a blue furokoshi, oh, sorry, furoshiki, to give to Mr. Yoshikawa for the holiday. There was a long line of travelers waiting to see the station master. Yasuo stepped out onto the platform and sat down on the wooden bench across from Hachiko's statue to wait for his friend. Where Yasuo sat was now known as the Hachiko side of the train station. It was not uncommon to hear one person say to another, "I will see you at Hachiko's statue after work," or "Meet me at Hachiko at 6 o'clock." And on a side note, yes, it's a great place to meet people when you're in Tokyo. As Yasuo looked around Hachiko's statue, he noticed a girl about his own age. She was tall, slender, and very pretty, and her cheeks were bright with cold. Her hair was fastened with an ornament of white paper flowers, and she wore an elegant silk kimono embroidered with delicate plum blossoms. The girl stood with her back to Hachiko, glancing to her right and to her left. She looked up at the big clock hanging from the ceiling inside the train station and tapped her foot. Yasuo kept his eye on the girl. As she waited. He knew it was rude to stare, but he could not turn away. The girl was scowling now, her forehead furrowed and her lips pointing down. Yasuo scowled as well. As Yasuo gazed at her, the girl looked at the clock one last time, thrust her hands on her hips, and walked away. Before he knew what he was doing, he jumped to his feet. "Wait," he cried. The girl turned around and smiled. Yasuo noticed she had a dimple in her left cheek. It disappeared quickly when the girl saw a stranger had called to her. She turned on her heels and started out of the station. "Wait," Yasuo called again. I know I'm not the one you're waiting for," he said as he caught up to her, "but I would be honored if you would take a walk with me." He lowered his eyes and bowed. "My name is Yasuo Takahashi. Come, ask the station master. He will tell you I am respectable." He led her inside inside the station, over to Mr. Yoshikawa's office. "Happy New Year, Yasuo." "Oh, Happy New Year," Yasuo said, bowing to his friend. He gave Mr. Yoshikawa the gift he had brought. "I would like you to meet My name is Miyuki," the girl said with a bow to the station master. "I am pleased to meet you." Mr. Yoshikawa said, returning the bow, "And I am pleased to see you have met my friend Yasuo. He is a fine young man, patient and devoted, loyal and responsible, known far and wide for his kindness." Mr. Yoshikawa smiled broadly, "And he is about to be rewarded for a very kind thing he did many years ago." The station master winked at Yasuo. "Make sure you tell Miyuki all about your friend Hachiko. The faithful dog? Miyuki asked. Did you know him? Yes, I did, said Yasuo, leading, leading Miyuki out of the station. As they walked, he told her all about Hachiko, and even though the day was windy and cold, they walked and talked all afternoon. Yasuo and Miyuki spent the next afternoon together, and the afternoon after that as well. Soon they were spending all their time together. Soon they fell in love. Yasuo and Miyuki were together in the spring when the cherry blossoms bloomed, and in the summer when the rains came. They were together in the fall when the leaves changed color, and in the winter when the snow fell. Yasuo brought Miyuki home to meet his family. His mother and father thought she was a fine young woman. Miyuki brought Yasuo home to meet her family. Her mother and father thought he was a fine young man. A year passed, and Yasuo asked Miyuki to meet him at Hachiko's statue in Shibuya Station on New Year's Day at 3 o'clock. He said he had something very important to ask her. Yasuo arrived at the statue at 5 minutes to 3. He stood beside Hachiko, looking to his right, to his left, and to his right again, searching the steady stream of travelers for the one face that would make his belly tremble with joy. At last he saw Miyuki coming toward him, and the sight of her made his own face light up like the sun. "Hello, Miyuki," Yasuo said. He took both her hands in his and stared into her lovely dark eyes. "Hello, Yasuo," Miyuki said. "What is it you have to ask me?" Yasuo cleared his throat several times before he spoke. "Miyuki," he said, "soon I will finish my studies, and then—" Yasuo squeezed her hands tightly. "And then, will you marry me? I promise that if you say yes, I will be as devoted to you as Hachiko was to Professor Ueno for all the days of my life." Yasuo and Miyuki both turned toward the statue of Hachiko, sitting up so tall and proud. Then they turned back toward each other. Miyuki looked into Yasuo's eyes. Her lips curved up into a smile, and the dimple he loved so well appeared in her left cheek. "Yes, Yasuo, I will marry you," she said, her voice full of happiness. "And I promise that for all the days of my life, I will be as devoted to you as you were to Chuken Hachiko, the faithful dog of Japan." Author's note. Hachiko Waits is a work of fiction inspired by a true story. In January 1924, Professor Isaburo Ueno adopted a 3-month-old Akita puppy and named him Hachi. The professor traveled to work by train, and every day Hachi accompanied him to the train station. After the professor's train left, Hachi ran home, and every day he returned to Shibuya Station just before 3 o'clock to meet his master. One day in May of 1925, Professor Ueno died unexpectedly at work. Hachi waited at the train station for his master to come home that day, and every day after that for approximately 10 years. Although Yasuo and his family are fictional characters, many people, including Mr. Yoshikawa, cared for Hachiko, as he came to be called. Over the next decade, he died of natural causes while waiting for his master. The people of Japan were so impressed by Hachi's loyalty that they decided to erect a statue in his honor and to place it at Shibuya Station. Money was raised and an artist named Teru Ando was hired. In 1934, just about a year before Hachiko died, a ceremony attended by many people was held to dedicate the statue. During World War II, Hachi's statue was melted down so that the metal could be used in the war effort. After the war, Takeshi Ando, the sculptor Teru Ando's son, created a new identical statue to replace the original one, and another dedication ceremony attended by an enormous crowd was held. The second statue is still at Shibuya Station, and it is a very popular meeting place. Over the years, it has become a tradition for young couples to pledge their loyalty to each other in front of Hachiko's statue. Though many years have passed since Hachiko waited for Professor Ueno at the train station, he has not been forgotten. To this day, his story is taught to school children all over Japan, and every year on April 8th, a memorial service is held at Shibuya Station to honor Chuken Hachiko, the faithful dog of Japan.